Tony Khan claims released Ring of Honor talent no-showed events. Plus, we have an update on John Cena's WrestleMania plans, wabadoo, and a new look WWE title could be coming our way after WrestleMania 40. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling News right now. Tonight, Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor takes place. Ahead of that, Tony Khan led a media call yesterday, and one of the top subjects for the press in terms of questions for Tony was the releases from earlier in the week, and in particular the release of the boys, Dalton Castle's boys. They were halfway through a bit of storyline business and then they were gone. What did Tony say?
Tony said, I really enjoyed Dalton and Johnny working together, and this came at a time after Dalton had lost custody of the boys on Ring of Honor TV. The rivalry between Dalton and Johnny has been tremendous, and I'm really looking forward to the fight without honor. I'll be honest, they didn't show up for work on more than one occasion, and it's not acceptable. I think the whole locker room knew about it, and you can't do that. That's it. That's why I had to make a tough call.
Since then, both Brent and Brandon from the boys have been on Twitter and said Tony's comments are, quote, far from true. And they encouraged people to, quote, stay tuned and stand by, suggesting that they are going to be releasing a statement about it soon. With that, I don't really want to get into the speculation on who said what there. I am still sad that the boys were gone midway through a storyline.
Me too.
A few people went, yeah, but they got eaten by bears. I was like, yeah, but they said that in story. But that doesn't mean they got eaten by bears, actually.
I mean, definitely some of the more interested and entertaining. Not that Ring of Honor isn't interesting and entertaining, but it's one of the storylines in there at the moment that definitely jumps out, that makes you want to watch at least anyway.
It's been a slow burner, that story, and I've enjoyed the slow burn of it. I think Athena has very much been the dominant person on that show, simply because she's been the only champion that's been turning up on a regular basis. But I've enjoyed slowly the Dalton and Johnny stuff. And, so Johnny TV, Dalton Castle fighting without honor tonight at ROH Supercard of Honor. Tony Khan also put the releases in general down to being mindful of budget, with AEW wanting to build, quote, a war chest to go after big wrestling names. In fact, the boys initially put out a tweet that said they were told they were released because of budget cuts, a tweet that they since deleted. But then what he said there was a case of saying, we want to go after some bigger names, so we need to be mindful of how much we're spending. And Tony Khan even admitted during the press call, something that I have been lovingly saying for many years now, is that the roster is very deep.
Yes,
very deep roster. But he did say some of the released talent may find their way back, as seems to be the case with Anthony Henry.
Yeah, he said, I really like Anthony and his team, the Workhorsemen. Anthony got injured on an independent show. Anytime anybody gets injured here, I feel responsible. And when it happens on the independents, it's a challenging grey area. I've had a little bit of time to reflect and think about it. Anthony's going to be healing up soon, and I thought about it, and Anthony's going to come back to AEW and Ring of Honor when he's cleared, which is going to be pretty soon, and I think we've worked something good out. So I'd like to have Anthony back in AEW/Ring of Honor.
I think we might see a few of these names make their way back. From what I've been hearing is that it's the end of their time as contracted talent.
Yes.
I wouldn't be shocked if when they do come back, it's sort of a per appearance deal.
Yeah, I could imagine that as well, especially if Tony's looking to build a war chest. As you said, maybe it's a little bit better to do the per appearance thing than have straight, solid contracts, and perhaps you being paid, but you're not really being used on TV. I think paid per appearance makes a little bit more sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, and also whether or not it gives them a chance to move into different roles. Like Jose, the assistant who got released, people, whilst they know him as a manager of LFI and ROH, what they don't know is, they may not know, is that he's been a producer as well. He's been doing some producing stuff behind the scenes. And from what I gather, been getting really nice reviews for his work as a producer. So maybe this route back leads into something like that, where his other skill set is utilized.
Yeah.
We will find out as time goes on. Supercard of Honor is tonight, as we've said. They've chucked a few other matches onto the card. We'll see the Undisputed Kingdom, Mike Bennett and Matt Taven, defending the ROH tag titles against the Infantry. This is after the Infantry defeated the champs in a proving ground match last night. Very late addition to the Supercard of Honor card, the tag titles, but it's one of these shows, Supercard of Honor, a bit like some of the NXT shows, in the sense that the build isn't always magnificent, but the actual in-ring quality is always really strong.
Absolutely. No, I don't think you can deny that, can you?
No.
So good. I mean, the talent in the ring is always tremendous as it is anyway. Like, as you were saying, the same with NXT. The talent are really good. Maybe the storyline stuff that they've been given isn't the best, but they still go out there and prove themselves regardless anyway, don't they?
Exactly. We'll get 2 matches on 0 Hour as well. Serpentico and Angelico taking on Griff Garrison and Cole Carter. And Josh Woods and Tony Nese are going to face a team that we don't know who it is yet. Could be me and you for all we know. Could be me and you. That'd be a terrifying thought. Supercard of Honor takes place tonight ahead of WrestleMania weekend. And there were some question marks over the name John Cena. Can we see him at WrestleMania? Wabadoo. What do you reckon, Andrew Wabadoo?
Wabadoo. Well, I reckon PW Insider have said some things, and they certainly have. This comes from PW Insider, and they say, well, there are some in WWE that expect John Cena. While there are some in WWE that expect John Cena will be in town for WrestleMania this weekend, he will be off the board for anything physical for most of the remainder of 2024. Obviously, Cena's going to be filming the second season of the DC series Peacemaker from June through November in the Atlanta area, with the current shooting schedule slated to end around Thanksgiving. PWInsider.com can exclusively confirm that, and they did exclusively confirm that.
Show-offs. So Peacemaker's coming back, which means John Cena probably, they do not want to risk John Cena picking up an injury, doing anything physical, because then that costs a lot of people time, money, and gerbs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he might just pop up and say hello.
He can pop up and he can chase people away. That's not necessarily getting physical, like involved in something physical. Fisticuffs.
There you go. No, that's still physical.
No, but what I mean is, you don't do something like that. You just chase away Solo or something with a stick.
You keep him at a distance with a stick.
Yeah.
Or you have him in the balcony like Sting saying, I'll come down there. Yeah. Come on then. I will.
I will.
I'm going to count to 10. You better stop that. 9.5. 9 3/4.
Oh, it's getting close. I'm going
9 8/10. Right. Stop it now.
Stop it.
Speaking of WrestleMania and maybe chasing off Solo Sikoa, maybe part of that huge main event on night 2 where Cody Rhodes will face Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal title. He talked a bit about what he would do as Champ.
He did, yeah. So he was at WWE World last night ahead of WrestleMania 40 this weekend.
He turned up on time.
Well,
like The Rock.
Isn't he? You know what I mean? He's a good boy.
Timekeeping is a top babyface quality.
When asked what he would do if he became WWE champion, one of the things he hinted at was, in fact, a new design, saying, if I do, maybe we change how that title looks. Many are optimistic that should Cody win the title at WrestleMania, we'll see the return of the iconic Winged Eagle WWE Championship. I think a lot of us have been talking about this for a while. In his first WWE run, Cody brought back the classic IC title, which is delicious. One of the best belt designs, I think, just ever in general. So it's not impossible to imagine that he would do something like this as well. I feel like he's very fond of that title design. He's said it before many times that he's really fond of it. We thought it was going to happen last year. I think he even had like a winged eagle on his tights and everything. And I was like, he's doing it. But he didn't. He didn't, everybody. Spoilers.
I feel like if we get the winged eagle back, I feel like it might be a different winged eagle to the one we know.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Because WWE currently love, and I get why, for marketing purposes, they love having that big old logo, big brand logo on the front. They kind of got around that with the world title by having the world title sort of shape and feel, but with a big WWE button on the front.
Yeah.
I could do that with a winged eagle.
Do you know what? I was not entirely all for that new World Heavyweight Championship when they revealed it, but it's come round on me. I guess anything new takes a bit of time to grow on you, doesn't it? But I actually really enjoy it. However, away from just the title design itself, Cody also said the name of the title will change too if he wins. He says, the belt that ultimately Roman has now is what we call the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, which, if I win this thing on Sunday, we are not calling it this, the long-winded designation. It's just going to be the WWE Championship.
And that there, if there was ever a shred of doubt suggests that now the Universal title lineage and the WWE title lineage are folded into one.
Yes.
Because by calling it the WWE Championship, then the Universal title just gets folded into that.
Yep.
And it's money for both dances, as they say in the office. And that'll be it then. I think that'll be the end of the Universal title.
I think so, especially now that we've got the World Heavyweight Championship. It makes sense, doesn't it, really?
It feels nicer.
It does.
It feels nicer. So, I mean, by all accounts, it looks like that's where we're going. But you know what? Based on last year's WrestleMania, we must not count our chickens before they are hatched. WrestleMania this week, 9 pitches already on the channel, predictions already on the channel, live reactions to Stand and Deliver, the NXT Network special with Ross and Jack at twitch.tv/Cultaholic tomorrow. And then this young gentleman and the tall gentleman take center stage on your screen. For live reactions to WrestleMania 40.
Yes, night 1 and night 2, youtube.com/Cultaholic/live. But then on the following Monday on the Raw after Mania, we will also be there live reacting to that. So stay tuned for that too. And tonight, Adam will be doing the go home edition of SmackDown. Get you all ready. Get WrestleMania Eve. Get the juices flowing. Get yourselves.
Leave out a mince pie for
Leave
The
out
Rock.
a mince pie for The Rock, of course. So yes, just stick around for that too. There's a lot coming. Tom's got some other stuff coming out too.
Yes, as we mentioned in the first video, I'll give it another plug here. The slight change to the podcast feed this weekend. The Cultaholic Classic SmackDown review, your Saturday morning treat, is moving to Sunday morning for just this weekend only. Calm down. So Matthew and I are back, taking you back to 2002 for a couple of hours on Sunday. But on Saturday, i.e. tomorrow, it is part 4 of Roads to WrestleMania. Myself, Fraser Porter, and Cultaholic.com's tribal editor-in-chief, Aidan Gibbons, have been telling you the full story of Cody before he hopefully finishes it on Sunday. Fingers crossed. Check out parts 1 through 3 on the podcast feed. Get it on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts from. And then tomorrow morning, you'll have the 4th and final part, all about his return to WWE and the journey that he's been on from ripped tits to yeeting all over the world and all in between. That will be tomorrow on the podcast feed. And for the latest wrestling news throughout the day, you can check out Cultaholic.com. Keys.
I love you. Bye.